Howdy folks, welcome back. Session 4. Not a long session this, a nice little short one. I'm not even going to bore you with the story. I've got more, but I just want to make this a quick one. I might ramble on at the end of it and you can either watch or not, but I'm going to introduce another phrase. Well, you could say in the workbook I call this a turnaround, and it's also a walk down. So it's the same as Little Red Rooster, but we add a couple of little things in there. We're going to use it in relation to the song Walking Blues, which we will go into a little bit later. But I'm just getting all these little morsels now, and our pie's we're stuffing the pie. It's not in the oven yet, but we're stuffing the pie. So this basically called a turnaround. If you're not familiar with what a turnaround is, a turnaround in the sense of what we're doing here in Slide and Blues and in music in general, it resolves the tension of coming out of, you could say, I'm not going to use tonic, subdominant, dominant, because that's what it is, but I'm not. I just did, didn't I? I just actually used it. But anyway, rewind. You didn't hear those words. Tonic, subdominant, and forget them. What it is it resolves tension. Okay, when you're up here on that, you know, you want to come back down too. So the turnaround resolves that. Takes you up to the tension, and then so I'll explain to you what I'm doing. It's in the workbook, but if you're like me, just a part of that and the tablature in the workbook, I actually can't stand tab. I put tab in the book because a lot of people, it's great for reference, but I find I can't read things external. Just for me personally, I learn by predominantly my ear, and if I get an idea of where something is on the guitar neck, I can work it out, but that's come with a lot of practice. So there is a tablature in the workbook. For me, it doesn't work, but for you, maybe it does. So I'll explain to you what I'm doing. I'm basically taking exactly the same as we did in Little Red Rooster. We've got that Little Red Rooster, rambling on my mind. So many songs, so little time. So all I'm doing is I'm walking from that third fret, second fret, first fret, same string, off, same string. Then I go up to my G. So divide this into two parts. The walk down, so you open, you can do it as a phrase that we've learned. Or one more time. Another string. This is the beauty. I can hit the wrong string. It's not a mistake. Was, but it's not obvious because it sounds awesome. So that's why sometimes mistakes, as Miles Davis. When Miles Davis said something about, there's no mistakes in music. You just got to, if you play the mistake, what did he say? I think he said, if you play the mistake all the time, it becomes part of the music. So people go, oh, it's meant to be there. But anyway, that is the turnaround. Now, during the vocals, it does that, but it does what we did in Walking Blues. Sorry, rambling on my mind, the songs. It's open. So I've got 3, 2, open, up to that same G. Woke up this morning, feeling round for my shoe. You know about that, babe, the old Walking Blues. Woke up this morning. See, so it sits under the vocals. It gives you something to sing over the top of, and then up to the 5th fret, as we've done in the majority of these songs. So your practice is divided into 2 parts. The turnaround to take us, and then the walk down for vocal. I'm not going to get technical about it, what my thumb's doing, what fingers. I want you to listen. I want you to, even if you have to just pay a lot of attention to the sound. I mean, this is really critical. I learnt by listening. I've probably mentioned this before, but I just did not take to lessons at all. Like, I just couldn't, as I said, I can't stand looking at anything external, a tablature, theory. That just blew my mind and made the process of learning guitar painful. So I learnt by watching, if not playing along to a cassette in my, with electric guitar, it was watching Stevie Ray Vaughan or Eric Clapton, and it was and even Mark Knopfler, Dire Straits. I always tried to play what they were doing, and I always just imagined that I was them, or I was jamming with them on stage, and that is how I learned all of my phrases, all of my licks. Everything I've learned on the guitar is by ear, pretty much. So this is my little story. If you've had enough, you've got the practice. But it's not so much a story, but what it is it's just how powerful your imagination is and how you can use it to really, really move forward in your practice. And also how to make learning not a tough experience. And I've applied this, and I used to do a 2-day workshop that was all about the power of imagination. It was called the Art of Music Workshop. And I would get my students to imagine everything they were going to try and emulate on the guitar. So before they would physically do the practice, I got them to imagine themselves doing it, playing it on the guitar, feeling the guitar. So what this draws you out of the confrontation that is quite often associated, especially with art. But it draws you above that confrontation. And it's a very powerful tool to use just to get you started, because what happens after that is your imagination automatically takes over once you allow it to take over. And when I was thinking about this prior to making this video, is like, what is art? What is art? and music. And what art is it's focused imagination. That is what art is. Your imagination is being focused on something. You are not coming from the normal place that you most likely would be during your day. Again, at work, your 9 to 5, at school. Very rarely now, especially in this day and age, are we really engaging in imagination. So it's critical, and it's a very powerful tool, and we really need to nurture it, and we need to keep it active, because if you don't use it, you lose it. And if we lose imagination, it's not going to be a happy place. The world won't be very happy. I won't be happy. You won't be happy. So I won't go on, but I really want you to start engaging and understanding that imagination is playing a critical role in your learning, and you can actively engage it. And if you're struggling and having difficulty in anywhere, just sit back, take a deep breath, and imagine what you're having trouble with, and then imagine executing things with flow, smoothly. You've got all the time in the world with this sort of music. It's there for you to hold you and to give you a foundation to learn. So just remember that. This guitar, this music is the foundation for you to really be free to learn and go into places and experiment and have fun. I'll sign off there. I'll see you next session. Take it easy.